So I told y'all that I had a whole, I want to reinvent myself. I don't know. I want to be actively a better me in my 40s than I've ever been. There's a lot of things that I want to change about myself internally to get to that next platitude in life that I want to obtain. So I told y'all, if you haven't watched my previous video, watch my previous video. And I told y'all that I had this whole like self-help thing, and I've been seeing a therapist and doing all my little steps and trying not to backtrack into the chaotic BS and learning how to deal with my responses to BS. But anyway, I was saying in my last video that I saw someone say, imagine yourself if you're in a boardroom. And in the boardroom is the child version of you, the teen version of you, the young adult version of you, the broke version of you, the masked version of you, and then the future you. And you're going to go in the room and you're going to ask these 6 questions. And I was saying how nothing came. Like I was looking at these questions because I had like wrote them down, and I'm like, I don't think I know myself. So I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my God, like I don't think I know me. I don't have a piece of hair on me. I don't think I know who I really am. And I think that's what caused a lot of issues and a lot of problems that I created, because hurt people, you know what I mean? So I think that's what caused a lot of issues in my past. So, I reached out. Let me talk to my therapist, because I feel some type of way. But she's out of town. My therapist has been out of town for the longest. Like, I don't know what's going on. But, sis, it's the holiday season. I'm going to need you to come on back. I don't know what. See, that's why you can't be, sis. So I'm like, I need to reevaluate some things. Like, because how is it I don't have no answers? I didn't realize that my arms was also ashy. Look at the elbow. So I was like, I need to reevaluate some things. Because how we gonna answer these questions? And I was able to answer. I got cocoa butter. I was able to answer one question, and that was the second question on the list. And the second question was, what have I been carrying for so long, and who asked me to carry it in the first place? And I said, as much as I love my mother, she was, I didn't agree with a lot of things. And one of the things that I've been carrying since I don't know how long is that I've always had to keep the peace. I've always had to be the peacemaker. I've always had to be the one who be the bigger person. And even when I was justifiably correct, I was justifiably angry, I had to always, it felt like I had to dismiss my emotions and how I felt. And for what? Because it never solved anything. There was never actual resolution to any of the problems that I was trying to keep the peace for. And even now, like, even at work in my adult life, I will be upset or I will feel some type of way how people will speak. Because they, like, especially working in fast food, I'm telling you, these young managers, they do not know how to talk to people. And like being like, I'm like, most of them, I'm old enough to be your mom, like, and I'm not like an old lady or nothing like that or anything, but like, even if I wasn't, I don't show you guys disrespect. I don't show them any type of, like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty chill. And you got some of these managers that just like talk to you out the wayside, and they think that's okay because they're a manager. And be wrong, but they're loud when they're right and when they're dismissive, like even over the tiniest mistakes, it be wild. But when they're wrong and it's time for them to apologize, oh, they can't do that. They have an issue with that. So it's like, I don't know what this is. Oh my, that's weird. So it's like, I wouldn't say anything for the sake of, let me just, because I have to come back tomorrow. I don't want to deal with the conflict of it all, because I'm not going to keep going back and forth. And that was a thing with me. I'm not a back and forth, but I'm not going to keep talking junk. That was, listen, I mean, we either fighting or we not. And I need this job, and I promised my kids, like, I'm going to be more stable. I'm going to do, I messed up in 2018, but we're not going to mess up no more. It was a whole thing. So it's like, okay, let me keep the peace. And keeping the peace just got me more resenting things on the inside. So that was one of the things I had been carrying from my childhood that I carry now. And I'm like, I got to let that go. And before I turned 40, I said, I'm no longer keeping the peace. Keeping the peace for who? I'm being peaceful for myself, because I noticed that you always keep the peace, but nobody keep the peace for you. Nobody care about how you feel while you care about how everybody else feels. I'm not doing that no more. No. And one of the other questions, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know the answers. But it was, what do each of you need to hear right now? I'm like, these questions got deep. And that was the first question. I said, oh. And part of me know. Like, you know what I mean? I know. Like, but it's like at the same time, my therapist need to come on back. Because, woo, these 6 questions. So, listen, before I turn 40, I am determined, and I know change doesn't come overnight, but you could at least push the needle. You know what I mean? So, before I turn 40, there is 5 huge things I said I want to do. And most of them are internal, but the biggest thing that I want to do is, the biggest, I got nervous out of nowhere, sorry. The biggest thing that I want to do is I want to be able to travel more. And I always make excuses on why I don't travel and this, that, and the third. And I realize after, self-reflecting and things of that nature, I realize why I don't travel, even though I love to travel. But we letting those things go. So before I turn 40, I said there's 5 major things that I want to do. And one of them, I want to be able to travel more. And it's never been a money issue. And I'm realizing I tend to make excuses for things. And I tend to place things on like, oh, I just can't afford it. Sometimes I could. And sometimes I'm just like, I let that voice in my head like discourage me. But we're not doing that no more. So I appreciate you guys listening to me and being on my journey with me, because before I turn 40, I am determined to be a new me. So thanks.